Alrighty, got the radiator in it, got the system all filled up now, so it's time to fire back up and let this thing get up to full operating temp for the first time. And after that, we're going to pull the plugs out, check everything out, do a compression test, and overall see what we gained with this thing. See if we actually made it worth putting pistons and rings in this engine and saving it compared to using the short block I bought for $150. So time to let her run again and then play roulette. Well, so far, absolutely great. This thing sounds smooth as can be. No clatters, no nothing. Just ticking of the injectors. It's not smoking at all. This is just condensation from it being cold out in this section of the garage, but sounds freaking awesome. Like, very happy with it. Check engine light came back on. I'll have to read the code on it, but we are doing good. We got let's see if we can see the mileage on this thing. 179,742. That's our mileage for the rebuild now. See how long she lasts from here on out. Gonna do a compression test here in a little bit, just letting her get up to a full operating temp cycle. And I'm curious. I'm thinking we're gonna have good numbers, but I thought we're gonna have good numbers before, so well, I didn't think we're gonna have good numbers at the start of this, but we will see. I'm excited to find out. We are all ready to compression test. All the spark plugs are out. Gonna hand my phone off to Brandon here, and I'm gonna start plucking it in, and we're going to do it the same way we did it last time. We're saving cylinder 4 for last, because honestly at this point any one of these could be off now. So we're going to find out, and with any luck they're all good. If it'll go in. Come on now. There it goes. All right. Let me know what we get.
About 175.
That's good.
$180.
Nice. The nice.
just a tick under 175.
We'll call it 175. We'll round up.
Yeah, it was like, it like just touched it.
The moment of truth.
Yep, cylinder number 4.
Will cylinder 4 have compression this time? Da-da-da-da.
I'm gonna put my money on yes.
I'm hoping so. Sounds really nice. And it doesn't seem to have a bog at all when I rev it. Not
Yeah,
that
no.
it was much. Not that it was extremely noticeable at idle before, but the engine sounds way better than it ever has. So this thing's got to have something more than 75.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as we don't see that number right there, I think we're good.
See what happens. I'll know as soon as I hit the beat.
Oh yeah.
You can hear it always.
175.
175. Fuck yeah.
175, baby.
We have a healthy engine.
See, you don't even need to erase that. You can just put a 1 in front of it.
Just put a 1 in front of it. We're still gonna write 175 above it.
Oh.
We have success!
Yes.
Oh, this is great. That means the car is officially coming out of the garage tomorrow and we are going on a test drive. This is awesome. It looks fucking great. Everything is brand new in this drivetrain. This is a whole new RS at this point.
It's got new brakes on the front and everything.
Well, I'm gonna get spark plugs back in it, and I think at this point we're just gonna catch back up tomorrow while we're getting this thing out of the garage. So I am ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. Well, the silver car is back on the ground. Its winter wheels are back on. She's on her Sparkos. Rally mode is engaged for the winter. This thing is just looking killer. Tonight's the night though. We're gonna get her out of the garage. We're going for our first test drive. See what happens. We're basically gonna drive to the car wash. This thing is absolutely filthy right now. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a little bit of pink shimmer to the dust from all the overspray of me painting in here, but yeah, it should wash off. This paint isn't the nicest. We got clear coat fade and weird spots on the hood. Just, you know, 20-year-old car problems, but this thing looks killer either way. So excited to drive this thing. This is literally going to be, this is a whole new car. Bushings, used transmission, but rebuilt motor. Like, this thing is as new as you can get for a 20-year-old car, I'd say. So I'm super excited to finally drive it. Gonna try and film what I can of it, but we are cursed to dark at 5 o'clock at the moment, so sadly it's gonna not be a great video, but gonna do what I can with it. Currently just detailing the car. I got the floors all vacuumed and the seats vacuumed. I always forget how nice this car actually cleans up. The seats are in okay condition. Mainly get all the dog hair off of them from old Diesel and call her good, but getting the dash wiped down here now, get all the center console cleaned up, and overall just make this interior a 9 out of 10 again. So I absolutely love how nice this interior is. It is time to fire this thing up and take her for our first test drive. Super excited, a little nervous. I don't think we're gonna have issues, but you know, always gonna have the little bit of jitters the first time you go for a test drive. I still haven't even tried the clutch or going forward and back. I know the clutch is working, so, but I have not tried putting it in gear while it's running yet, so fingers crossed, we're going for a drive. we go. Get the garage door open. First part of it, at least. Idling a little low there, that's for sure. Ew. Definitely idling low. Well, we will definitely see. It sounds low. I mean, maybe it just doesn't. Maybe it has been in the heated shop. It's not registering needing to high idle for a cold start. I don't know. It also really hasn't had much time to run for it to learn any idle control or anything. So, yeah. I'd say it's time to get this thing out of here. Oh yes, a little bit of snowflakes. Absolutely love it. Well, we're just gonna run to the gas station first and see what the heck happens here. Well, it feels okay so far. I had a weird chatter coming out of the driveway in reverse, but not really wanting to idle very well. But it's driving good so far. I'm just in third gear. We're obviously just putting a little bit. I also just realized I had my parking brake on, so that might have been my chatter. Hopefully just skipping on the parking brakes. But we're driving. Alrighty, well, we're all topped off, so let's hope she wants to behave a little more with some fresh fuel. That's a more normal idle. Shut my radio off. Heck yeah. You can definitely feel the motor mounts and transmission mounts and everything now. She's a lot more not street car. You can feel the engine shaking a little bit, and not in a bad way, but you can feel it now. It's there. It's not the cushy factory mounts. I threw in a set of used Megan Racing motor mounts, and they are surprisingly very good. I also have them on my, turn my radio back on, and accident. I also have the same mounts on my white coupe, and they are tremendously good mounts for what they are, for not being an actual solid mount. So I like them. They work good. Maybe a little much for this car, but the factory ones are blowing out. I had these laying around, and it's better than spending money at the moment, so we used them for this, so that is what it is for now. I can always put different mounts in it if I want to later on. It's not a big deal to me, so say it's time to go give this thing an official drive. Well, the car is overall feeling very well. The overall back and forth is solid. Turning feels amazing with all these new bushings. I got one slight complaint though. Currently just cruising with my foot in the throttle doing 60. I get that noise when I let off. Gets a little more aggressive as I'm slowing down, especially in third there. That's of sad, but the engine's feeling good. Just doing some light pulls. Nothing crazy with her. That's 3/4 throttle at most, and third, and half at about 4th gear there, but feeling decent. Hard to tell if I got more power or not yet. Like I said, I'm not really getting in it too much like I used to, so haven't done a good first or second in it. We're gonna save that for now, but transmission definitely concerns me with that noise. I don't know if it's transmission or what, but this is basically all used clutch components other than the flywheel. So hard to say. There's a combination of things to be going on. I am getting a weird shudder when I take off, so the clutch definitely doesn't feel the best, but I don't know. Figuring it out. This is definitely, everything's a budget build around here, so definitely into this pretty cheap on the actual rebuild side of things. I spent more on bushings than I did actually rebuilding the engine and whatnot, so transmission I had laying around out of a car I parted out that I never got to drive before I parted out, so I didn't get to know if it was making noise or not. The other spare trans I have has some slight play in the rear tail housing, so I didn't really want to use that one, but that one was one that I knew came out of a previously running and driving car, sooner, at least more recently driven than the transmission I have in here. But the transmission feels good cruising. It's just letting off, we get that little growl. Yeah, it goes away with the clutch in. That's not ideal. Now I'm going to turn around up here. Well, so far so good. Stopped over here at a gas station to just kind of check her out, make sure there's no smoke, nothing weird, and we seem all right so far. Car's idling good now. Sounds good. Definitely sound good. No smoke. That's awesome. I mean, I'd say that's always a good sign for a rebuilt motor. Overall, it's actually driving phenomenal. My tape measure alignment was a lot better than I expected it to be this time, so heck yeah. Time to get back in and cruise around home. Look at that pink intake though. Look at that front end. Oh, I can't get over that view right there. That is just so cool. So, get back to it. See if it, see now we got some wear into this clutch disc, if it's still gonna chatter here when I take off. Maybe I'll do a good little pull on it. It seems to be doing all right, so. She sounds really good. Well, less chatter that time. A little bit of chatter. I might have to figure out the right RPM. It is a 6-puck clutch, so we'll see. She's grabbing good though. Let's see what she does. Doesn't feel like it has as much power as it used to, I'm gonna be honest, but hopefully that's just a placebo effect so far. That really wasn't getting into it aggressively. That was about 3/4 throttle. It wasn't on the floor, so yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens. The engine's just got to break in a little bit hopefully, and I don't know, worst comes to worst, I got another short block and another one I can build besides the extra one that I can slap heads on, so I don't know. We're just gonna run her until she don't run though, and or until I'm unsatisfied with it. But luckily I got a alignment scheduled for this Friday for it, so it'll be nice to get that at least taken care of, and then we'll see how she does. I'm going to drive it a bit this week, and I might drive it to Green Bay this weekend. And if I do, I'll definitely make a few clips of it and keep everybody up to date on what's going on with this cheap ass rebuild. So do an update when I get home. We made her home. That is a big bonus. It is overall driving very well. Just decel, it has a grinding noise, and taking off, I don't know if it's the fact that it's a 6-puck clutch and that's why it's shuddery. I mean, with RPM it is better, but I'm still getting a shudder. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna run it for now for a little while, get some break-in miles in this engine, and just overall see what happens. Maybe find another transmission for it and just go from there. But overall, I want to put some miles on it and enjoy it. I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow and a little bit this week, and then I'll get an alignment Friday afternoon and decide whether or not I'm going to drive it to Green Bay. Undecided. The 4Runner's definitely up for a trip. This one will be questionable. Gonna plan on it, but unsure at the moment, so keep everyone in check with it and keep updating everybody as we go with it.